My sister barred my husband from attending her wedding. We went anyway, and her fiance publicly pushed him, then spread falsehoods online. My sister and I have always had a rocky relationship. We loved each other deeply, but we weren't the kind to share every thought or confidence. We'd had our share of arguments, sure, but they were typically over small issues or differing views on family duties. Overall, I cherished her. I was proud of her successes, stood by her, and had been there for every major moment in her life until this wedding fiasco. We had a strong bond until this mess unfolded. I've been married to Dan for 4 years, and he meshes well with our family. Dan was the sort who went out of his way to bond with those I held dear, and I valued that. Having no siblings of his own, he treated my sister like one, and they had a playful rapport that felt like sibling banter. They were always joking around, and he was there for her whenever she needed support. She'd been struggling with a business idea for about a year, aiming to launch a small online jewelry shop. Dan gave her a no-interest loan to kickstart it, a hefty amount, and I was thrilled he was willing to back her. So, when her wedding invite arrived with a strange note requesting I leave Dan at home, I was completely blindsided. It stung, especially given their closeness. I reread the note multiple times, wondering if it was a gag or if I'd missed some subtext. Dan brushed it off initially, thinking she was setting up a wedding jest, but something felt off to me. I tried texting her with light questions about the event, but her replies were evasive, claiming she was swamped with planning and would call later. Unable to get a straight answer, I rang my mom. When I asked if she knew why Dan wasn't invited, she chuckled and said, "Oh, you know your sister's quirks. She's just being goofy." She thought my sister was cooking up a funny bit for the reception. Her dismissive attitude didn't help and only deepened my confusion. Since Mom didn't take it seriously, I figured it was a harmless stunt. Still unsure, I couldn't see how bringing Dan would cause any real harm. After all, it was a wedding, a joyful celebration meant for family unity, not odd restrictions or head games. We arrived at the venue together. Right away, some guests shot us odd glances. I tried to ignore it, focusing on the day's happiness. I figured they were just noticing us because Dan and I had dressed more formally than usual to honor the occasion. Then I spotted my sister. She was chatting with her bridesmaids, but when she saw Dan, her face changed. Her expression sank, then twisted into raw anger. She marched over, her voice quaking with fury, demanding why Dan was there. She didn't bother to keep it quiet. Everyone nearby could hear the edge in her tone. The air grew tense, and I felt my cheeks flush with embarrassment. I tried to pull her aside for a private talk, but she insisted Dan wasn't welcome and that I was defying her wishes. To calm her, I pointed out that the note seemed like a joke, and even Mom thought so. I urged her to breathe and explain the real issue. I can't tell you what happened next in the short video. The full story and channel link below.